This is a continuation of my previous video showing you how to make a shadow box with one frame. I'm now going to show you how to make these 3 individual frames, and then you can use those same skills to make as many frames as you want to. So like before, I have my SVG file, which is on top, and I'm going to keep bringing this to the top, which makes life so much easier. And then I've got my 4 layers here. I've got my black layer, white, hot pink, and light pink. First thing I'm going to do is cut out my frame. So again, I'm going to duplicate my black layer and change this to a 9 by 9. Make sure that everything is aligned, even though I'm sure that it is. I'm going to slice that black layer out of that black layer. So delete one of them, keep one, because I'm going to use this as my guide. So this black frame is my new black layer, but I'm going to create all of my little cutouts now, which will be easier in the end. So what I want to do is I want to have a border between the black and the pink of about 0.3 of an inch. So what I do here is I'm going to do an offset of -0.3, and I'm going to change that to orange, and you'll see why in just a second. For my SVG, I'm going to bring this right to the top, and this time I'm going to make it about 9.5 inches because even though it's not the full length of the shadow box, it just sort of works better with what I'm trying to achieve. So what I'll do is I'm going to make sure that all of this is centered horizontally. And then with this orange, I'm going to put boxes on top of it, which will become my cutouts. Now I've done this measurement on paper, which is why it all sort of makes sense, but you can do whatever measurements you want. I'm going to duplicate that orange and I'm going to make it green again, just for instructional purposes. And I'm going to make one box 5.4 inches. I'm going to duplicate that and I'm going to make the second one 2.7 inches. Take the little padlock off by 2.55 inches. And I want 2 of those. Now, basically what it's going to look like once it's all set and looking pretty is it's going to look like this, right? So my SVG file I need to bring back to the top, I just want to make, it's going to sit on that black frame. Now remember as well, you actually have a little bit more to play with because this orange is actually smaller than the white. So you can delete this black box that you cut out of the outside frame just so that you can see exactly what you've got. So see, I've got a bit more room to play with. So I'm just going to put that down there for now. And you can see that the green boxes are going to be where my photos are and that text is going to be underneath it. So what I want to do to make sure that all of these green boxes are exactly how I want them is I'm going to align these green boxes with the orange. So the first thing I'm going to do, now the layer that you select first is what you are moving around. The layer that you select second is the one that is set in stone. So the orange layer is currently exactly where I want it. So I want all of the green to be aligned to where the orange is. So the first thing I'm going to do is select the green box, the bigger green box, hold shift on my keyboard and click on the orange, and then align this to the top and align this to the left. Okay, so see how the orange didn't move and the green box is now perfectly aligned. The next thing I want to do is select this top green box and then select the orange. And again, I want to align it to the top and I want to align it to the right. Now, I know that this big green box is exactly where I want it. So I'm going to align this bottom green box to the bottom of that green box. And then I'm going to align it to this top green box because they're already set. If you want to weld them now, you can, but you don't need to as long as you select the right box first. So I'm going to select the bottom box first, hold shift, and then align to the top box. I'm going to align that to the right. And then I'm going to select that bottom box and align it to the bottom of that big green box. And now you can see that those green boxes are exactly where I want them. So I am going to weld them together. And I'm going to delete that orange because it's now has no purpose. So with these green boxes, this is what's going to cut out of my white layer. So again, if you want to call it white cutout, just to be safe, you can. I'm going to do an offset of a -3. You might decide that that's cutting too much out of it. Like even I might think I might do 0.2. Yeah, it's probably better. 0.2 of an offset. I'm going to call this my hot pink cutout. And then I'm going to do an offset of negative 0.2. I'm going to call this my light pink cutout. Now from here, I'm just going to hide those layers because I don't care about it right now. I'm also going to hide the white cutout because I'm still dealing with the black. And then we do the same as we did before. So with that SVG, I'm going to ungroup. I'm going to weld the black with the black layer. Okay, so that is now, that's done. So hide that one. I'm now going to cut out my white layer and the today text. So slice that out. I don't need those two top layers. And I can also cut this white cutout out of my white layer. So slice that one, and I don't need that green anymore. Hide the white. I'm going to cut out the hot pink and the hot pink. Delete those two, don't need it. And I'm going to cut out the light pink of the light pink. And again, delete the two, don't need it. Let's rearrange the layers. Black goes first, then white, then hot pink, and then light pink. And that's how you do the 3 frames. And you can use those same skills to do anything. So to do the 4 frames, 2, whatever you want.